So before discussing the measures of skewness and kurtosis, some things are required to discuss, which are moments. The moments of a function are quantity measured used to the moments of a function are quantitative measures used to define the shape of the function. In other words, we can say that moments are used to represent the graphical properties of the distribution. Moments are also termed as the constants of the population. These constants helps in deciding the characteristics of the distribution of the data. Moments are also helpful in finding the arithmetic mean, standard deviation, and variance of the populations directly. The moments of rth order are defined by using the formula for raw data. Mu r prime is equals to 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to n xi minus a whole power r. And for frequency data, it can be defined as mu r prime is equals to 1 upon capital N summation I goes 1 to k fi into xi minus a whole power r. This is also called, these moments are also called as rth moment about origin A. By changing the origin and the order of the moment, we can generate different moments. Basically, two type of moments are used, which are called as raw moments and central moments. Raw moments can be obtained by putting into the general formula, by putting A is equals to 0 in the general formula of rth moment. That is putting A equals to 0 in mu r prime, which would give, for raw data, rth raw moment will be mu r prime is equals to 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to n xi to the power r. And for raw data, for frequency data, the rth raw moment will be mu r prime is equals to 1 upon capital N summation I goes 1 to k fi into xi to the power r. By taking different values of r, different raw moments can be obtained. Generally, first four raw moments and first four central moments are used. So I have given the formula of first four raw moments, which are as follows. If we put r is equals to 1, then it will be called as raw moment of order 1 and denoted by mu 1 prime. For raw data, its formula will be mu 1 prime is equals to 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to n xi, which is similar to the formula of mean of n observations. So it can, mu 1 prime can also be denoted by x bar, that is mean of observations. For frequency data, the formula of first raw moment will become 1 upon capital N summation I goes 1 to k fi xi. Again, it is similar to the mean of n observation, sorry, mean of n observation. So it is also denoted by x bar. Second raw formula, when we put r is equals to 2, then we will obtain second raw moments, and its formula for raw data will be mu 2 prime is equals to 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to n xi square. And for frequency data, the formula will be 1 upon capital N summation I goes 1 to k fi xi square. Similarly, by putting r is equals to 3, third raw moment will be obtained, and formula for it would become 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to n xi cube. And for frequency data, formula would be 1 upon capital N summation I goes 1 to k fi xi cube. And if we put r is equals to 4, then fourth raw moment will be obtained as 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to n xi to the power 4 for raw data, and 1 upon capital N summation I goes 1 to k fi xi to the power 4. Similarly, by putting A is equals to mean of the observations, that is taking, by taking A is equals to x bar, we would obtain the central moment. These are called as central moments because these are generated around the central value of the data, or by using the measure of central tendency for the data. So that are called as central moments. These are denoted by mu r, and the rth central moment for raw data set or unarranged data set is given by mu r is equals to 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to n xi minus x bar to the power r. And for frequency data, Rh central moment is given by 1 upon capital N summation I goes 1 to k fi xi minus x bar to the power r. Again, by putting different values of r, different central moments can be obtained. Again, first four central moments are represented here as these are used to represent the skewness and kurtosis of the data. If we put r is equals to 1, then central moment is denoted by mu1. By mistake, it is written, these are written as mu1 prime. It is mu1 only. Prime sign will be eliminated. For raw data, the formula will be mu1 is equals to 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to n xi minus x bar. And by the property of arithmetic mean, the deviation, the sum of the deviation of the observation around its mean is 0. So first central moment would be 0. Similarly, for frequency data, also the first central moment comes out to be 0. If we put r is equals to 2, then we would obtain second central moment, which is denoted by mu2, and its formula will become mu2 is equals to 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to n xi minus x bar whole square. If you look into the formula of variance, then it will be just similar to the formula of variance. So second central moment is nothing but the variance of the data. For frequency data, second formula for second central moment will be 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to k fi xi minus x bar whole square, which is again the formula of variance for frequency data. Putting r is equals to 3, then third central moment will be obtained as 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to n xi minus x bar whole cube for raw data set, and 1 upon capital N summation I goes 1 to k fi xi minus x bar whole cube for frequency data. And putting r is equals to 4, fourth central moment will be obtained, and its formula will be mu4 is equals to 1 upon n summation I goes 1 to small n xi minus x bar to the power 4 for raw data. And for frequency data, the formula will be 1 upon capital N summation I goes 1 to k fi xi minus x bar whole power 4. The relation, the raw moment and central moments are related by some manner, and the relationship between these can be given by the following formula, that is rth central moment, that is mu r is equals to rc0 mu r prime minus rc1 mu r prime mu r minus 1 prime into mu1 plus rc2 mu r minus 2 prime into mu1 square plus so on minus 1 to the power r minus 1 rc r minus 1 mu r minus r minus 1 prime into mu1 prime plus minus 1 to the power r rc r mu 1 prime to the power r. This c represents the combination, that is rc1 is the method of selecting one unit among the r available units. On solving this formula, we would get the Rs central moment mu r is equals to Rc0 mu r prime minus Rc1 mu r minus 1 prime into mu1 plus Rc2 mu r minus 2 prime into mu1 square, so on minus 1 to the power r Rc r minus 1 minus 1 mu1 prime to the power r. Now putting the value of r from 1 to 2, that is taking the value of r as 1, 2, 3 and 4, we would get mu1 is equals to mu1 prime minus mu1 prime, which would give 0. And if we put r is equals to 2 in this formula, then we would get mu2 is equals to rc0 mu2 prime minus rc1 mu1 prime into mu1 prime, sorry, 2c0 mu1 mu2 prime minus 2c1 mu1 prime into mu1 prime plus 2c2 mu1 prime whole square, which would give mu2 prime minus mu1 prime whole square. Similarly, putting r is equals to 3, third central moment will be obtained, which will be related to the three raw moments as mu3 is equals to mu3 prime minus 3 mu2 prime mu1 prime plus 2 mu1 prime whole cube. Similarly, mu4 will be comes out to be mu4 prime minus 4 mu3 prime mu1 prime plus 6 mu2 prime mu1 prime whole square plus 3 mu1 prime to the power 4. Now we come to the skewness. The skewness means the lack of symmetry. A distribution can be symmetric or asymmetric. So whether it is symmetric or asymmetric is decided with the help of skewness. In statistics, skewness is used to tell whether the distribution of variable under consideration is symmetric or not. If distribution is not symmetric, then it is called as skewed. The distribution of data could be positively skewed. Here you can see its tail on the right is longer as compared to tail on the left. That is, this side is smaller and this size is larger. So it is also called as right tailed or positively skewed. On in symmetric, the left side of the distribution will be exactly similar to the exactly mirror image of the right side of the distribution. Here you can see that it is a symmetric distribution, and third one is negatively skewed in that the left tail is longer as compared to right tail. So it is also called as left tailed distribution, and symmetric is also called as equally tailed distribution. That is, the lower, this part on both this side will be similar for equal tailed, and for right tailed this part will be longer in on the right and tail will be longer on the left in left tail distribution or negatively skewed distribution. There are different measures which can be used for defining the skewness. First method is defining the skewness is using the mean median mode, which can be seen from following that in right tail distribution, in symmetric distribution, mean, median and mode coincides on the same point. That is, if mean is equals to median is equals to mode, then distribution is said to be symmetric. And if mode is smaller than median and median is smaller than mean, then distribution is said to be right tailed. And if mode is larger than median, which is also larger than mean, then distribution is said to be negatively skewed. That is the one manner of deciding the skewness of the distribution. There is another method which is given suggested by Professor G.V. Yule, which defines the skewness as S is equals to third quartile minus median minus first quartile, or it can be sim simplified in the manner third quartile plus first quartile minus 2 times of median, and its value comes out to be negative, then distribution is said to be negatively skewed. If its value comes out to be 0, then distribution is said to be symmetric. And if its value comes out to be more than 0 or positive, then distribution is said to be positively skewed. But these measures can give only idea about the skewness, but cannot be compare the skewness of two or more distribution. That is, among two or more distributions, which is more skewed cannot be decided with the help of these two methods. For such purpose, different coefficients of skewness are used. The first coefficient was given by Carl Pearson, which is also called as Carl Pearson's first coefficient of skewness. It can be easily obtained by using the formula Sk is equals to mean minus mode upon standard deviation. However, sometimes it would be difficult to obtain mode if highest frequency of the data lies among the last class interval. In that situation, Carl Pearson's second coefficient of skewness is used, which is given by Sk is equals to 3 times mean minus median upon standard deviation. Both the coefficients of skewness lies between -3 and +3. If value is -3, then data is said to be negatively skewed. If value is positive, that is lies between 0 and +3, then data is said to be positively skewed. And if value of coefficients comes out to be 0, then distribution is said to be symmetric. Another coefficient was given by Professor Bowley, which can be defined as SB is equals to Q3 minus 2 times Q2 plus Q1, that is third quartile plus first quartile minus 2 times median, divided by third quartile plus first quartile. Sorry, third quartile minus first quartile. So it is nothing but making the Yule's coefficient unitless in the same manner as we have done in coefficient, that is was done in relative measures of dispersion. Its value lies between -1 and +1. If value comes out to be negative, then distribution is said to be negatively skewed. Value comes out to be positive, then distribution is said to be positively skewed. And if value comes out to be 0, then distribution is said to be symmetric. Another measure was given by Carl Pearson, that is also called as Carl Pearson's coefficient of skewness based upon the moments. These measures, that is fourth measure, is used most frequently as compared to other measures, and these are given by beta 1 is equals to plus minus mu 3 cube upon mu 2, sorry, beta 1 is equals to plus minus mu 3 square upon mu 2 cube, that is a square of third central moment divided by the cube of second central moment. And another measure which is denoted by gamma 1 is equals to plus minus square root of beta 1. Mu 3 may be negative, may be positive, but its square will always be positive. Mu 2 is the variance of observations. It can never be negative. That is, it is also a positive quantity. So its cube will be also positive quantity. So this ratio mu 3 square upon mu 2 cube will always comes out to be positive. But it is defined as plus minus. So from where this plus minus sign occur? This plus minus sign is sign similar to mu 3. If third central moment comes out to be negative, then sign of beta 1 is taken as negative. And if the third central moment comes out to be positive, then sign of beta 1 as well as gamma 1 is taken as positive. So this sign does not comes from ratio or from square root. This sign comes from the sign of mu 3. That is, mu 3 will be negative, then beta 1 and gamma 1 will be negative, and mu 3 is positive, then beta 1 and gamma 1 both will be positive. Value of beta 1 and gamma 1 both will be lies between plus and minus 1. If value comes out to be 0, then distribution is said to be symmetric. If value comes out to be negative, then distribution is said to be negatively skewed. And if the value comes out to be positive, then distribution is said to be positively skewed. Now we come to the kurtosis. Kurtosis is used to define the peakedness of the distribution of the data. The peakedness is for defining the peakedness of the data. We compare the distribution of the data with a bell-shaped curve, which is also called as normal curve, having same mean and standard deviation which the data have. The bell-shaped curve is termed as mesocortic. That is, it comes out to be like this. It is a mesocortic curve. If the peak of the distribution of data comes out to be larger than this one, then that is called as leptocortic. And if peak comes out to be lower than this mesocortic distribution or bell-shaped curve, then that is called as platycortic. That is like this one. So it is bell-shaped curve, which is also called as mesocortic. The blue height of blue curve is larger than the mesocortic, so that will be called as leptocortic. And the height of the curve in brown color is lower than the mesocortic distribution, so that is called as platycortic. So peakedness or height of the distribution is compared with to that of normal curve. So mesocortic curve is also called as bell-shaped curve, or it is also called as normal curve. To defining the kurtosis of the distribution, two measures are used which are called as coefficients of kurtosis. These coefficients are also based upon the central moments. These are denoted by beta 2 and gamma 2. Beta 2 is given by the ratio of fourth central moment with the square of the second central moment. That is, beta 2 is equals to mu 4 upon mu 2 square. It lies between -3 and +3. And sorry, beta 2, there is no limit for the beta 2. It may be negative, it may be positive. It lies between -0 to infinity. The value of beta 2 lies between 0 and infinity. Gamma 2 is defined by beta 2 minus 3. And value of gamma 2 lies between -3 and plus infinity. If value of beta 2 is equals to 3 and value of gamma 2 is equals to 0, then distribution is said to be mesocortic. If value of beta 2 is smaller than 3 or value of gamma 2 is smaller than the 0, that is negative value, then distribution of data is said to be platycortic. And if value of beta 2 is more than 3 and value of gamma 2 is positive, then distribution of the data is said to be leptocortic. Now how we calculate these moments and coefficients of skewness and kurtosis, that is discussed with the help of this example. In the data set, the wages of different workers are given, and wages are not 170 to 180. It is from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and so on. So for computing the raw moments, first we calculate the class mark, which is the lower limit of the class interval plus upper limit of the class interval divided by 2. So class marks would be comes out to be 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, and 55. Then these class marks are multiplied with the frequency, which will give Fixi. Then again class mark is multiplied with Fixi, then it will give Fixi square. Then multiply xi with Fixi square, it will give Fixi cube, and multiplied class mark with Fixi cube, then it will give Fixi to the power 4. Now after computing these four values Fixi, Fixi square, Fixi cube, and Fixi to the power 4, add all the values which will give total. That is summation Fixi, summation Fixi square, summation Fixi cube, and summation Fixi to the power 4. Now raw moment can be obtained by dividing these totals by the total frequency. That is, first raw moment will be 2360 divided by 84, which would comes out to be 28.09. So the mean of the distribution is 28.09. Second raw moment will be obtained by dividing 80,100 by 84, which will give 953.57. Similarly, summation fi cube will be divided by 84, which will give third raw moment, which comes out to be 36,202.38. And dividing fourth total, that is summation fi to the power 4 by 84, will give the fourth raw moment, which would comes out to be 14 lakh 89,910.71. Similarly, we can calculate central moments. For central moments, we can again calculate class mark, then calculate mean, which comes out to be 28.09. Then take the deviation of class mark from the mean, that is di equals to xi minus x bar. Then multiply this xi minus x bar with fi, which will give fi into xi minus x bar, or in simple notation you can write fi di. Then calculate fi di square by multiplying di with fi di. Then multiply di with fi di square, which will give fi di cube, and multiply di with fi di cube, it will give fi di to the power 4. And after computing these values, add all the values. Here you can see that summation FIDI is equals to 0, and first central moments can be obtained by dividing this summation FIDI by total frequency, that is 84, which will give 0. So it also shows that the formula which said that first central moment is 0 is always correct, that always first central moment comes out to be 0. Now second central moment, for second central moment, divide summation FIDI square by total frequency, that is by 84, then it will give variance of the data as 164.23. Third central moment will be obtained by dividing summation FIDI cube, that is this quantity, by 84, which will give 183.46. And for fourth central moment, divide summation FIDI to the power 4, that is this quantity, by 84, that is total frequency, then you will obtain the fourth central moment as 68,434.55. There is another method for computing the central moments, that is by using the relation between raw moments and central moments. Using that relation, an approximate idea about the central moment will be obtained. If you not use approximation, then you can obtain exactly the same values, which comes out to be by using the formula of first four central moment. I have used approximation, so these values are somehow different from that values. So here you can compare, first central moment was 0, again here first central moment is 0, second central moment was 164.23, here it is 164.53, that is difference of zero point 0.3. Similarly, fourth central moment was 183.46, here it is 173.76. So if you not use approximation, you get exactly same value. I have used approximation, so I have given some deviation from the exact values. And also for computing different measures, some quantities are required, which are as follows. Mean for the data set was 28.09. Median has computed as 27.33. Mode is obtained as 26. First quartile is 20.33. Third quartile is 37.22. And standard deviation is 12.81. So what will be the Yule's measure of skewness? First we have discussed. Here you can see mode is smaller than median is smaller than mean. That means distribution of data is positively skewed. Now this can be also justified by using different formula. S is equals to Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 times median, which is Yule's measure. The value is obtained as 2.89. Using Carl Pearson's first coefficient, that is mean minus mode upon standard deviation, the value is obtained as 0.164, which is positive value. So it also tells that distribution is positively skewed. Carl Pearson's second coefficient also computed as 0.18, which is a positive value. So it also tells that the distribution is positively skewed. Using Bowley's coefficient, that is Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 times median divided by Q3 minus Q1 comes out to be 0.171. It also tells that distribution is positively skewed, and Carl Pearson's coefficient based upon moments beta 1, that is equals to plus minus mu 3 square upon mu 2 cube, comes out to be 0.0076. That is a positive quantity. Here I have taken plus sign because the sign of mu 3 was plus. Its value was plus 181 point something. Similarly, gamma 1 can be obtained by taking square root of beta 1, which comes out to be 0.0871, which also tells that distribution is positively skewed. Now, coefficient of kurtosis beta 2 is mu 4 upon mu 2 square. So, fourth central moment is divided by the square of the second central moment, which comes out to be 2.53. And gamma 2 comes out to be negative, that is 2.53 minus 3, which comes out to be minus 0.47. So, both beta 2 and gamma 2 tells the distribution is platykurtic. And if we plot the frequency distribution for the data set, it comes out to be this. Here you can see that left portion is smaller than the right portion of the data. So we can say that distribution is positively skewed. And if we compare it with the normal curve having same mean 28.09 and standard deviation 12.81, then we will obtain that our distribution is peak of the our distribution is smaller than that of normal curve, so it is platykurtic. These are the differences.